This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Have you ever wanted to go to a B school that didn't feel like one? A place steaming with new ideas and a great sense of culture? A place that perhaps employs all of the rigor of a B school but none of its stuffiness? Well, you could be heading to MICA. A unique institute that blends reason with passion and creativity with logic. Tucked away outside the chaos of Ahmedabad in a sprawling campus that's bursting with rustic charm, MICA's distinctive red brick buildings and tree-lined avenues add as much character to the campus as its bright young students.
The best part of MICA, I think the whole campus in itself is a big learning experience.
The campus is beautiful. It's a great space for students to, network, and I think the hostel culture and just the college culture is really good over here.
If you look around campus, it's like very nature friendly. One of the few campuses in Ahmedabad which is such lush green trees around.
The campus is so green and beautiful, so that's one thing I love about it.
The campus, the life, the teachers, the subjects, everything brings out a different personality in each one of us, and that is what makes this college so special.
Established in 1991, MICA's glorious 25 years have been dedicated to producing leaders in strategic marketing and communications through a wide range of academic programs. On offer are the postgraduate diploma in management, equivalent to an MBA, the crafting creative communications course, and the fellow program in management communications at the doctoral level. A school of ideas, a B school with a difference. That's what MICA likes to call itself. And joining us to talk about what exactly that means is Preeti Shroff, the Dean of MICA. Ma'am, thanks so much for joining us on NDTV. I want to begin by asking you exactly what the School of Ideas means. What's the idea behind that tagline?
So we'll have to start with 1991, when the founder, Mr. Krishnamurthy, was very clear that MICA was going to be an education and training institution at that time for advertising industry professionals to emphasize philosophy on one hand and hands-on experience on the other hand.
Okay.
So since then, clearly, MICA has been at the intersection of left and right brain, where we emphasize our learners and participants' ability to understand the global context and the local implementation.
Talk to us a little bit about the pedagogy employed at MICA, because the one thing that we've been hearing from students across the board is that it's very different from other B schools. It's very creative, it's very hands-on and practical.
So in terms of our curriculum, we ensure three important critical elements. One is we are always at the intersection of academia and industry, academia and government and public sector, academia and social sector, so that we continuously learn from practitioners and build our theoretical and conceptual frameworks, which are very critical when students come to a business management school, based on cutting edge on the ground practice and innovations.
Right. Finally, MICA is one place which has about 100% placements. How do you achieve that?
I absolutely have to acknowledge the power of MICA's alumni network, which is connected with the campus-based residential experience. They not just contribute to their profession, but they are leaders in the industry in terms of innovation, creativity. And then they are always connected with the campus, so they bring back their industries, their experiences to us.
We are not a run-of-the-mill business school. We pride ourselves on being a business school with a difference. In line with the vision of building leadership in strategic marketing and communication, MICA will look to achieve preeminence, not just in India and in Asia Pacific, but also on the global platform. For this, we're looking at building centers of excellence. We're building collaborations with like-minded institutions globally. And in terms of capacity, we're talking of enhancing the intake that we have because of the large amount of demand that we have for people wanting to get into MICA.
It is a pioneer. It is a pioneer in terms of communication, advertising, management thereof. Right? And it remains the only institution which does that. So the entire curriculum and all the experiences of the student here are geared towards answering the needs of the communication and strategic marketing industry. Right? So the focus is very clear. What it does therefore is that all the inputs that they get are finally woven together towards one goal. Unlike a traditional B school which has a large array of courses which are offered to you and a basket of choices that you make.
The admission process at MICA consists of 2 exams. One is whether you write CAT or ZAT, and the second is their own exam called MICAT. When we come here, the admission process is more different than other colleges. Other colleges have group discussions. Here we have group exercises, where we are made to work in a team, and then it is evaluated how creatively we can function in a team, rather than being on individuals as ourselves.
Other B schools have just take the CAT score, wherein just logical reasoning, DI and quantitative. MICAT deals with psychometric as well as creative writing. So MICA evaluates students to those who are planning to take admission in the college on every factor.
Not just about studies, it's the overall development that we get here, the basic different things that we do, say the theatres or the sports facilities that we have here. It gives us a chance to develop ourselves in a holistic level.
MICA is the only business school in India that is a complete blend of marketing, communication and strategic business marketing. I think it's the school of revolutionary ideas. It gives me a holistic purview of the world we are living in, both in terms of how business decisions are made and how the consumer is thinking.
The unique pedagogy at MICA is geared towards bringing out the creative best in its students, using art, for instance, as a tool to enhance communication skills. Behind me, students are engaged in what's called ABCD, or Anybody Can Draw. Let's find out what it's all about.
The change is happening at a very internal level. Instead of just learning and experiencing things, here we are really seeing a lot of things differently.
The core idea is we all are artists, but then somewhere down the line during the schooling, the whole artist inside us dies. The idea is to bring that alive. It's one of the very human instincts to be able to see things, right? So when I say anybody can draw, it's not just about drawing, it's about drawing, right? So you're taking out from life. Life has so much of visuals, right? And so many visual narratives around.
Now, one of the ways in which MICA prepares its students for their tomorrow is through a range of new age electives that focus on practical learning and a regular interface with the industry.
The digital area, we've got really innovative courses like maybe online user behavior is one of them, introduction to digital marketing is another. So we obviously teach a lot of things which other people have been trying to do, but we've actually had the digital specialization for 4 years now. So we probably have been the first school in maybe even Asia to have a specialization like that in digital communications management.
Lot of courses which are part of marketing specialization in other BE schools are taught in PGP1 itself. And then in PGP2, we go into the greater details about marketing and branding. We talk a lot about consumer, for example, coding categories and consumers, consumer insight mining, branding, lot of detailing we go into the PGP2. So that is how we are able to give a much more detailed synopsis of what is happening in the marketing and strategic marketing.
So let's head into a classroom where a live creative brief from Ogilvy is being used to show advertising students how campaigns are designed in the real world.
We make students work on live projects where they apply the knowledge that they've gained in class as a part of the theory building. So I would say that the methodology that we use at MICA and I use at MICA is extremely industry oriented, it's extremely real life, it prepares them for real life situations. MICA would be one of the best examples to talk about when we talk about the academia industry affiliation. So one way we do it is by calling a lot of people from the industry as guest faculties who come and share their learnings with our students. Second way to look at is we have quite a few industry professionals who work part-time with us.
We think differently, we act differently, and on that regard we try and explore some of those niche areas where we find that these are the places where our grads can get employment. For example, we figured out that sports marketing, sports management is a sector where we need to have a presence, and that's true even for the kind of electives that we have. So we have electives on semiotics, we have electives in creative communication. Those are the electives which you will not find at any other business school.
It's not a didactic way of teaching. They don't just tell us what to do, but we're actually doing in-class learning while doing, while executing projects, while doing case studies, while actually doing group discussions or group activities. So it's learning on the go.
We have a lot of visiting faculties who come, and especially in our second year onwards, most of our courses are taken by visiting faculties, people who have huge industrial experiences, they have their own startups, are there at big shots. Then we have some interactions with industry speakers through a program called MICA Leadership Series. Apart from this, we are also exposed to a lot of competitions in the form of, we have industries that, companies that outsource projects to us. Then we participate in competitions on our own.
Summer internships are very integral to our overall learning because that is how we come to know where we fit best, which industry we fit best, and which company is suited to our choice, and which if we fit into the company. And the best thing is the support that we get. The teachers, our seniors, our alumni, everyone helps us to make that experience best for us.
An important gauge of a B school's success is the quality of its alumni, and joining us to give us both an alumni and an industry perspective is Kunal Deswani, who is of course the CEO of Ogilvy India. Kunal, thanks for joining us on NDTV and welcome back to campus.
Lovely to be here.
I want to in fact begin by asking you what sort of interactions you have with your alma mater and how does it feel to come back to MICA?
Okay, so it's been about 20 years since I passed out. On and off I've been here, it's about 10 to 12 times, mostly in the form of guest faculty to come and take a few sessions. It's always fun, it's always stimulating. I love interacting with the students.
How does MICA stand out from the rest of the B schools in terms of the employability factor, in terms of how prepared they are really to face the world?
2 years I spent in MICA, I thought we had less of a curriculum and more of a focus on thinking creatively in the business that we're in, because that's what it's all about, right? It's about saying, here's a set of stimulus, here's a set of consumer insights, now think creatively and come up with solutions on what you can do in market, right? What it gave me is the ability to think, the ability to think without structures and without prescriptions, right? And I think that's what helped me most in life.
Lots of advertising agencies, digital agencies, PR agencies, they prefer MICAns to kind of come in and join in their culture because we fit so much better there.
I am a 2001 graduate from MICA. I run a media research firm in Bombay called Pixites Consulting. And I started this 4 years back with 2 MICAns because a MICAn thought what we're planning to do was a good idea. We got our first set of revenues because another MICAn thought we can add value, and I think almost 80% of all our revenues come from doors that some MICAn or the other has opened for us at some point. From career point of view, I think I don't think any other school would have been able to be as life-changing for us.
Coming up, preparations underway full swing for one of MICA's biggest annual fests, My Canvas. We'll get you all the action after this short break. For all that MICAns do in the sphere of academics, the Gandhian ethos of the institute ensures that a deep social consciousness is ingrained at every step of the student's journey.
MICA's Rural Immersion Program is an integral part of its course in rural communications that aims to expose students to the realities of small-town India in the context of marketing and communication.
For Rural Immersion Program, basically we have been allotted NGOs or a part of the CSR of big companies. So we were responsible for livelihood development of women around the villages. So basically our work was to cater to the truck workers and how the food was reaching to those people.
It helps us to get idea of what's actually happening in India, which is the rural India. We got to know how the irrigation and farming is actually helping their livelihood. So our team's project was on livelihood management. So kind of you get an idea as a marketer, how can you communicate to them.
Now, as a part of its rural focus, MICA also runs a community radio station called MICA Vani. And to talk to us about that is RJ Tara. Tara, tell us, what are MBA students doing running a radio station, and what is MICA Vani all about?
We are a bunch of MBA students at MICA from different specializations like advertising, media, research. And here at MICA Vani, we like to do content which is community generated and for the community. We run programs on customer awareness. We run shows on farmers, on weather, on education and on skill building. And to keep it high on entertainment, we have one show on Saturday and Bollywood.
Alright, and this is across 4 or 5 villages close to the campus.
Right. So we cater to 4 villages which fall under the 7-kilometer radius around the campus. And we go on air for 2 hours every day, 6 days a week.
गुड इवनिंग दोस्तों, आप सुन रहे हैं माइका वाणी 90.4 FM।
तुम्हारा बोल तुम्हारी वाणी।
माइका वाणी।
मैं हूँ आरजे व्योम।
मैं आरजे राशि।
और मैं हूँ आरजे स्वाति, जो सभी के मन को भाती। मेरे नाम से
Students who are RJs and also organizers of some really impressive fests and events, MICAns are truly a versatile bunch, and we're lucky to visit on a day when all roads lead to My Canvas, a grand 3-day marketing extravaganza that's been only getting bigger and better through the years.
Three days of My Canvas is very busy and there's lots of activities happening on campus. We have lots of events. So the most sought after event is LMS, which is the last manager standing.
People who are planning to get into Corpcom. So this is something that they're doing real time. They're managing the brand MICA in real time. Then we have event-based committees, which is My Canvas, TEDx MICA. We have a TEDx MICA. So what this helps people do is they have a marketing vertical, sales vertical. So they need to sell tickets. They need to, try to get avenues, sponsorships. So this is like they are managing an event real time.
If you look at what's the theme for this time, it's unravel. Okay, so when if you look at just the theme of the brand management fest, that also is very telling about the learnings that the students go through at MICA. All these festivals are validation for MICA.
Between all of the events, practicals and hands-on learning, MICA also spearheads some cutting-edge research to service the needs of the communications industry. And joining us now are students from the fellowship program of MICA, which is essentially equivalent to a PhD. And this is Archal. So Archal, tell us a little bit more.
So MICA has this research, a very robust research environment where a lot of focus has been given to contribute to the broader academic community, not just nationally, plus globally, which actually helps industry to grow in the area of strategic marketing and communications.
Okay. And you also, in fact, have something called MICA Minds, we believe, which is, in some sense, a sort of interface between academia and industry.
Right. So MICA Minds basically acts as a liaison between the academics and the industry. Like, for example, Dentsu Web Chutney was here with a project of theirs. They wanted a profiling of the millennials. So MICA faculty take up these projects and they develop questionnaires. They conduct this research using, taking help from the students, so they also get an exposure. And that is how MICA Minds works, basically, helping the industry through the academic research that is conducted.
Well, with so much serious stuff happening on campus, there's got to be a place where Micans just like to let their hair down. Chota! Yes, that's right. Chota is a 24-hour canteen where the coffee and snacking never stops. It's also home to the Chota Wall.
Now, the Chota Wall is an interesting concrete canvas of sorts with an intriguing array of doodles on it. And joining me to talk about it, in fact, is Shiksha, who is, by the way, the in-house artist at MICA and has painted all of these. So, Shiksha, what's really the concept behind it?
So the concept behind the Chota Wall basically is to represent all the stories that take place at MICA. And for the year that has gone by for a batch, this becomes their doodle board, it becomes their canvas. So everybody comes together during My Canvas, which is the fest at MICA, and paints it. It's a very participatory thing. There's music, there are people, there's talking, there's chai. So everybody comes together to conceptualize kind of this wall, and a lot of stories go behind making this. So it's very dear to all of us at MICA.
With NDTV firmly imprinted on the Chota Wall, it's time to call it a day. Until next time, goodbye and see you at yet another B School.